Hello everyone! This should hopefully be accurate now at this point. Cool beans! Let me push some stuff off to the side. How is everyone doing? Oh, need to mute the volume here. Okay, sorry for the lack of thumbnail today. I realized like right as I was about to get ready to go that I didn't have my thumbnail prepped, but that's okay. We don't need a thumbnail. That's just for, I guess, appearances purposes, and I've never really worried about that on this channel. Good morning, everyone. Let's see if we catch up with the chat, everything. Yes. Oh, okay. Professor Meg, 3 weeks. Yes, Professor Meg. This is, you should know this by now. So, basically, this is the last live Q&A, I think, for 3 weeks. I missed last week. I apologize for that. I had strep. I still have, like, the remnants of strep. If I cough and then follow that up with laughing, it's because I think laughing is funny. I think coughing's funny, I guess. And I'm still, like, got a voice tickle going on. So I may cough. I don't have, like, the hoarseness that I had sometimes in the past. But I do have a little bit of a something going on over there. Anyways, next week. Next week is going to be WSBG. Next week at 10 a.m. I'll be getting off a plane in Vegas. And so I don't think I'll be well suited for a live stream at that time. Actually, I think it'll be like, I think I'm going to be on a plane at 10 a.m. I think I'm getting off a plane 10 a.m. Vegas time, which is going to be like, I think I'm going to be, I don't know the exact time. I'm pretty sure I'm on a plane at 10 a.m., next week. So there's going to be no live stream next week, probably. Is there possibly a live stream because things happen? Maybe, but it's certainly not going to be at 10 a.m. on next Wednesday. And then the Wednesday after that, if I'm not mistaken, is Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, the Jewish high holiday, which means I'm definitely going to be offline. So nothing there. I'm pretty sure the Wednesday after that we're safe. I think so, like, basically 3 weeks from now, we're going to have another live stream. We have Malwex. I have to look what this is about. Sebastian, hi Meg. Hi Sebastian. Hi Alex, you said. Hi you. Malwex, okay. Robbie. Successful. Alex is abandoning us for 3 weeks. Yes, I am, but only here. On Twitch, I'll still be doing live content all the time. Seth Wiseman, hi everyone. Stacy, good morning Stacy. How's it going? Professor Meg, hello. Robbie Sanger, will there be more swordplay today? Will there be more swordplay today? I don't imagine there is. Why is my chat freezing up again? Live chat, there we go. Oh my gosh, I missed chat because I wasn't doing live chat. Okay, will there be more swordplay today? There should not be more swordplay. Professor Meg, good coffee to you all, and a good coffee to you, Meg. Good coffee, already preparing for dinner. Sebastian, what time is it where you are? And I'm sure you've told me in the past, I won't always remember. I just unboxed my first wave shipping of Ice Vanguard. Oh my god, some quality work in that first shipping. Yeah, Isis Vanguard has delivered, and people are starting to be excited about it, which I like. It's not my favorite game for context, and I like Isis Vanguard a lot, but it's not my favorite game. To me, it's a 4 to 5, not like a 4.5, not like a 5. It's a 4 to 5. Granted, it could grow as I dive into it more, but I dove into the prototype with different phases and all that stuff and all that. And so I like Isis Vanguard a lot, but I was happy, or am happy, to see a lot of people getting their copies of Isis Vanguard and really enjoying it. I'm happy when people enjoy. I'm happy when people enjoy a game I liked. It's just good, like, it's good business, I guess. Not business, but, like, I don't like it when I love a game and people are like, that game's terrible. I don't know why that BoardGameCo likes it. Flying Solo, what's all this talk of coffee? It's midnight in Australia. Flying Solo, I don't see your point. It's midnight, so what? Have coffee. Sebastian, great iPad cover, Alex. Thank you, I appreciate it. The elephant's always adorable. Loopy, morning all. Loopy, hello, Professor Meg. Professor Meg, Alex, we need to fight. Meg, we briefly fought. So far, I've had a sword and axe fight with you, a sword and sword fight with Jesse. There are more people we can fight. At some point, Devin has a sword. Devin has a sword. We'll fight Devin. Sebastian, hardcore flying solo, doing the night shift. Sebastian, okay. Done. Buddy Walquist, are you going to cover Quacks & Co. and Quack & Co.? I certainly hope we do. For context, those who don't know, we have a side channel called Quack & Co., which we've actually been bad at posting at the past 2 weeks. For a longer story there, but both Jesse and I have been, we meaning Jesse and I have like a whole bunch of things going on and all kinds of things in the board game space. But basically, Quack & Co. is my ongoing collaboration with Jesse from Quackalope, where we put videos up all the time, except all the time has kind of not been this past week. We've both been incredibly busy in various things, and that has resulted in less regular content over on Quack & Co., and that should pick up soon. But we absolutely should cover Quacks & Co. over on Quack & Co. Successful Geek, we shall rename you to Pony because you are a little horse. Yeah. Bryce Christensen, how is the Game Found gig going? Feeling good about. How is the Game Found gig going? Feeling good about balancing everything. Good question, Bryce. I would say I'm overall feeling good about balancing things. The first few weeks at a new position are always the hardest because I don't yet have that muscle memory going of do this, do this, do this, and just knock things out. Like, when I took on doing BoardGameCo, like this YouTube channel, I did it while having a full-time job. But as a full-time job, I knew what to do. I knew what to go in every day and do. Everything was rote to a degree. Like, not to say there wasn't any creative challenge, but I knew everything and how to handle it. Versus now I'm walking into an entirely new job while trying to balance everything, and it certainly was hard the first few weeks. I am starting to get into the groove, though. I'm starting to get into the groove of here's what my day looks like. These are the meetings I go to. These are the people I outreach to. Like, the groove is more and more settling. So I would say I would say that it's definitely a process of adapting. And it's also weirder because you're publicly adapting. Like, even right now, even this video could be watched by, like, my peers at GameFound. Absolutely possible. So here I am talking about the process of settling into a new job in a way that's publicly in the space that I'm in. It's a different kind of conversation than the past when I talk about my job, but it's like a completely different universe. So that's all weird. But yes, I'm very happy with how it's going. Reed McCullough, Professor Meg, you need to take over while he's gone. Professor Meg will not be able to properly take over because next week she's going to be at WSBG. The week after that, I guess she could take over. Professor Meg, I see 2 weeks off makes more sense. Yes, Meg, it is 2 weeks off. It is, but that technically makes this the last live Q&A for 3 weeks. Yeah, sort of. Professor Meg, Chaos Stream. Chaos Streams are the best kinds of streams. I love Camp Chayop, by the way. Camp Chayop, when we go full Chayop. When we go full chaos in Camp Chayop, it's delightful. Successful. Maybe I should make some coffee. I don't drink much coffee, but I got some great flavors that taste good iced. Coffee is both delicious and helpful. It's like the best possible thing ever. Darren Chow, hi Alex. Can you summarize how would you rate Darkest Dungeon in a few sentences? Yes, I'll give you 3 sentences. I've only played the tutorial scenario. I thought the combat seemed intriguing. I thought the pre-combat seemed tedious and annoying. So that's where I am so far. So those are your 3 scenarios. 3 sentences. Successful Geek. Given how long Wave 2 for either fields took, I should see Ice of Vanguard in like 3 years because I paid for only single wave shipping. Successful, you fell victim to the trap that I warn every single person not to do on Awakened Realms games. I'm like, always get 2-wave shipping. Always. Unless you want to find your game 3 years after no one's talking about it anymore. Always. Sebastian, past 4 a.m., but doing a long stew meal, so I need to start now and wanting to eat around 7. Past 4 p.m. I think you said 4 a.m. Jeez, okay. Professor Meg, no, we're fighting because Successful Geek told me about 20 strong. You're dropping the ball. Professor Meg, oh, we're fighting because Successful Geek told me about 20 strong. Meg, so that's a tricky one. Okay, that's a tricky one. So I knew about 20 strong for, this going back to the GameFound thing. The GameFound thing does mean, it's a weird balance. This is a weird balance for me to juggle, speaking of juggling things. I can actually juggle, but let's not do that right now. Because of the nature of the GameFound position, I am privy to information sometimes that is earlier than I otherwise should be. So I'm both a content creator who's trying to give news and behind-the-scenes information that has to be completely separate. So I couldn't tell you about 20 Strong, and I found out only yesterday that it was officially public now. Successful Geek, there's the Winnie. There it is indeed. Good morning, Alex. Since this is your last live stream, gotta make sure I make it live. You see, that was the trick, okay? I knew I had no thumbnail because 2 seconds before going live, I was like, I forgot to make a thumbnail this morning. And so I was like, well, if I don't have a thumbnail, I have to get some sort of hook. What can I do that's a hook? Tell people this is your last chance for 3 weeks. In some way that makes them feel like this is like matters. It doesn't. There'll be more live streams in the future. Forever. Professor Meg, they announced it on Twitter first. My braving the Twitter toxicity pays off sometimes. I hear you, Successful. There's nothing I can get from Twitter that makes it worth the Twitter toxicity. I'm fine where I am right now. Board Game Officer, what's this feud between Cracklope and you? And why would Devin leave Jesse to come work with you? Board Game Officer, I don't know if you're the same person who brought up the feud the last time. Like, there were like 3 weeks ago, someone asked about like the Cracklope BoardGameCo feud. The Cracklope board game feud has been going on for about 1.5 years now, honestly. As far as why would Devin leave Jesse to come work with you, Devin will be talking about that in his channel, but Devin's not really like leaving Jesse to come work with me. There's a longer conversation there about the fact that, for those who don't know, Devin was working heavily with Cracklope, and Devin is going to be moving more to working over by myself. The reason for that is primarily about the types of things that Jesse needs versus the types of things that I need. I want another person on camera to do creative content, things like banter back and forth, have the conversations, do the videos, do like group reviews and that kind of thing. And what Devin was doing for Cracklope was more behind the scenes stuff. Devin has more of an interest in being in front of the camera, and which wasn't the position that Jesse really had open at the time. So everything's all friendly, it's all good, all 3 of us are friends, we're all getting along just fine. We're not going to pillage, each other from each other. But although, fun fact, just so those who don't know, fun fact, I got Devin the job with Quacklo back in the day. Because back in the day, Devin reached out to me originally to work with me back in the day, but I couldn't justify it. I wasn't able to be full-time myself. I couldn't justify paying another person. The only reason I'm able to justify it now is because I just got this GameFound thing. For context, and this is one of those things I talk about over on Patreon, but I'm basically taking a loss to hire Devin, and we'll talk about it more at some point, but I'm taking a loss to hire Devin because I want to invest in it and see whether it's worthwhile, and I'm using the fact that I have an extra income stream from GameFound to justify just hiring Devin and seeing how it goes. I think it'll be cool for the channel. Will it pay for itself or not? I don't know. We'll find out. Professor Meg, Successful Geek, I thank you for your service. Carlos B, is 6 Siege your favorite tactical skirmish game? It's very good. It's good enough that I have to hesitate and think about it. I'd have to play it more. I'd have to play it more to answer that. It's definitely up there. It's definitely very up there. Successful Geek, I guess I'll just have to take over while you're gone. Please do, Successful. You have logins to half the stuff you need logins for anyway. Richard L, when is Clash of Cultures getting a review? When I can sit down and play it, Richard. Clash of Cultures is a game that, I mean, you need at least 3, so it's not that hard to table. I played the original. I haven't played the new one, so there's just a long backlog. There's always a backlog. Everything will be gotten to at some point. Charles, good morning, Alex. Did you ever review Guardians of Atlantis 2? No, I've played Guardians of Atlantis 1. I still have not played 2. Meant to table it. Didn't table it. Other games got tabled instead. I love Guardians of Atlantis. I just need to play it more. Seth Wiseman, I volunteer Successful to take over next week and trash you. Successful can absolutely take over next week. By all means. Harves, good morning. Sorry, super chat just jumped in. Good morning. Did you ever read Choose Your Own Adventure books as a kid? I had them all at one point. Still a bit surprised it's become such a common lexicon for a particular type of game mechanic. I absolutely read Choose Your Own Adventure books and would flip around from ending to ending and all that stuff. Really enjoyed the general genre of Choosing Your Own Adventure. I think there's something like appealing to it, and I think that holds up. Like last night over on Twitch, Meg and I just played through Roleplay Adventures. And it has Choose Your Own Adventures as a very common aspect of the game, that little Choose Your Own Adventure aspect, which is something Meg has not appreciated because she wanted a sword and she did not choose the sword and she chose the other thing hoping she would still get the sword, which seems like a wrong choice, but now she doesn't have the cool pink sword, and that's because we chose the other adventure. And Roleplay Adventures has a decent amount of that Choose Your Own Adventure in it that I really enjoy. Very, very solid. I'm liking Roleplay Adventures a lot. Okay, let's see. Michael Joseph, how did you end up liking your Dune TTS play? Well, we talk about this over on Devin Talks Tabletop. There's a first impressions over there. The short version of it is I really enjoyed playing Dune. I thought it was very solid, lots of reasons to go into it. I thought the combat dice mechanic was a little underwhelming, but past that, I overall really enjoyed the rest of the game. The tactical strategy is very high, like lots of things you could do with very small movements of just the highly asymmetric sides. Overall, really enjoyed it. I kept my pledge for context, like I played Trudvang Legends recently, and 5 or 6 scenarios in, and I was like, I'm good. I don't need to keep playing this. And had I played that's an interesting question. If I had only played the first scenario of Trudvang Legends, would I have kept a pledge or left it? I don't know. That's interesting because I only have 1.5 plays of Dune under my belt, but like it's a highly tactical game. Really enjoyed it overall, and I'm excited for it. Successful Geek, I would never trash Alex without him being here. I appreciate that Successful, although now I feel bad about the things I've done when you're not around. Studio Lanniston, good morning, Alex. Have you played Mystia yet? No, sorry. It's low. It's on the shelf, but it's so low down on the priority list. There's so many games at any given point that are games I want to table and play for any number of different reasons, but at the end of the day, Mystia is lower down on the priority list. Although if Devin actually reads the rule book, it won't be. Speaking of which, part of the fact of me dealing with Devin is Devin's going to read rules, which means more playing games. Professor Meg, so you knew yesterday. Yeah, I'm sorry, Meg. I knew yesterday. Sebastian, just watched Devin's video. Oh my gosh, actually I do feel bad, Meg. You're right. See, Meg and I do a lot of Chip Theory game stuff together, so I really do feel bad. I think the problem, Meg, this is the problem. The problem is I didn't find out yesterday. So when I did find out, I couldn't tell you yet. And then when I did find out, it wasn't really news to me. I'm going to have to balance that because you're right. Like, there's some things I wouldn't feel bad if I didn't tell you, but you're right. We do a lot of Chip Theory game stuff together. I should definitely have told you. Sorry. Sebastian, just watched Devin's video. Acknowledged what you previously released about a firmer cooperation. I guess, possibly. Successful Geek. I knew yesterday because that's when they announced it, but figured that when throwing swords around, they'd have to let you know sooner than me. They did not let content creators know about 20 Strong. I don't believe they're going to have pre-production copies for it, I think. I saw, like, I'm not certain about this one, but I believe I saw someone commenting saying, hey, will you have pre-production stuff? And I think they said no. Don't quote me on that. Robbie Singer, getting excited about Undead or Alive. Reviews from people who have it are saying it's tougher than any other versions. Are people are needing multiple tries to complete missions? Yes, Robbie, I knew this. This is about Zombicide, Undead or Alive. I already knew that it was harder because I played it. Like, one of the reasons I've held hope for Zombicide, Undead or Alive is it's the first Zombicide, other than Black Plague, I've actually lost. I've never lost 2nd edition. I've never lost Invader. But my very first play of Undead or Alive, when I played on TTS during the campaign, I lost. And I was like, good. I like losing Zombicide, and it was close. It wasn't like we just lost. We got to the very end and we lost. And so having people like say, oh my gosh, it's really hard. That's what I want in my Zombicide games. Don't give me this cakewalk. I don't have time for that. Shiny Marvin, good morning, Alex. Happy to catch you. Happy to catch you as well. Cecil Leak, Devin actually worked for Alex all along, and Alex sent Devin into the duck den to find the innermost secrets. Oh, there's so many things I could say that's successful. I'm not going to. I'm gonna be. Speaking of which, since I can't, it's not. You're right. It's not fun to trash people when they're not around. So I can't be mean to Jesse without him around. So I can't be mean. Flying Solo. Congratulations on the new job at GameFan, Alex. Would you recommend Hopmock Victorian? I'm a big solo gamer and wasn't sure on replayability of the game. Oh, Flying Solo. There is definitely replayability in Hopmock Victorian. I absolutely recommend it. Board Game Officer. I just watched this video and he was worried about this becoming drama, so I was just trying to help. Oh wait, Devin posted his video this morning. Oh crud! I need to go watch it. I need to go watch this drama video. I need to go watch it. Richard L. So is Devin moving to Ohio? Sadly not, unfortunately. Reed McCullough. Devin was the spoils of the duel between Alex and Jesse. Ooh. Well, my sword got chipped, but I got Devin, so I'd rather have a better sword, honestly. Professor Meg. Robin Hood is also very choose your own adventure. Yes, it is, Meg. It is indeed. Mystery Miller. If you had to destroy one of the games behind you, which ones would you choose and how would you do it? If you had to destroy one of the games behind you, offhand. Okay, so if I had to destroy one of the games behind me, I would pick Shadespire. Because from the games behind me, Shadespire is the only one. Let me just make sure. Let me move my head. Yep. From the games behind me, Shadespire is the only one. If I'm just looking at the top 2 shelves, it's the only one I haven't actually played. As far as how would I destroy it, I would throw it in the garbage. I'm not that creative. I'm sorry. I'm just not that cool. Reed McCullough. Mystery Miller. He better say it with a sword. Patrick O'Neill. Good morning, Alex. Will you be releasing a review of Wonderland's War? Yes. Soon, like before the campaign goes up, before the new release campaign goes up. Rayopa, good morning, Poggers Boy. Are you looking forward to the Monster Hunter board game? Poggers Boy? Who's Poggers Boy? Am I Poggers Boy? Good morning, Poggers Boy. Am I Poggers Boy? I'm so confused. Who's Poggers Boy? I can't tell at all what's happening. I am looking forward to Monster Hunter, the board game, though. So yeah, there's that. Professor Meg, I was even saying during stream all day as I was going to solo, I brought up solo gaming. Meg, I'm sorry. What do you want me to say, Meg? I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I'll figure out. Cecil Geek. I don't even have to trash Alex. He betrays his friends like Professor Meg all on his own. Carlos B. Which one do you think is going to be better? Oathsworn or Anne's Trespass Odyssey? I'm biased. I'm going to say Oathsworn, but I'm also biased because I prefer Oathsworn. So I'm really just answering with what I prefer. But yeah. Cecil Geek. Yeah, I already watched Devin's video too. I did not watch Devin's video. I want to. Professor Meg, Successful Geek, and I'm even allegedly a tier 1 friend. Well, Meg, apparently there's a tier 0 that's higher than tier... No, there's not a tier 0. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't know... Dale Rancourt, is Devin related to that room and board guy? Now, Dale, I don't know if that's a joke. So Dale just said, is Devin related to the room and board guy? Now, I don't know if that's meant to be a joke. If it's not meant to be a joke, it's even funnier. So room and board is Chris George. Devin is Devin. They both wear hats. One wears his forward, one wears his backwards. And they both are funny, but not as funny as they think they are. And they're both charming people who I'm happy to have in my life. Although they're okay. But I happen to think that Chris George is very similar to Devin to the point that I told Devin he was being replaced by Devin 2.0. And Devin's like made jokes about it, but then he met Chris George and really liked Chris George and they're really funny. And there's like a video of them walking down the hall in like Chris George's origin recap. There's a video of the two of them walking down the hall talking and I showed it to my wife and she's like, they even look the same. So yeah, I think it's funny. Dun dun dun, Successful Geek. Professor Meg, I'm just one of those people where he keeps enemies closer. Eric, Zombicide Night of the Living Death needs new rules is too easy. Yeah, they're all. Night of the Living Dead is definitely an easy one as well. Sebastian, it looks like Dune will cross the $1 million mark. Your first impressions video with Devin was quite positive. You had some doubts of dice usage in combat. Care to elaborate? So Sebastian, I wouldn't call it dice. I would just say unimpressed. I enjoy the combat in Dune. I do. But there's a difference between enjoying it versus thinking through it critically. If I'm thinking through the combat in Dune critically, it's not that interesting. You roll some dice. Ta-da! That's what it is. That's really what it is. They made the dice more interesting, so it's not like you roll numbers and 5s and 6s are hits. They made it more interesting, so there's like this back and forth and trade-off that makes it feel more interesting. But on a surface level, I think it just feels interesting. I don't think it actually is interesting. I think it's still just rolling dice and then just seeing who gets more hits. They just did so in a way that obfuscates exactly that pure simplicity of it that makes it feel more compelling. But I don't think it's that compelling. I don't mind it. I think Dune is highly strategic, but I think the dice combat could have been a better system. So it's not a complaint so much as like genuinely, like I didn't even think of it until, like it wasn't like I played the game of Dune and thought I don't like the dice combat. It's rather that in preparation for any review, I try to think through where I can be critical. I try to look for it. I don't just sit there and say, well, I had fun, so it's a good game. I'm like, no, what's something I could critique? I was like, you know what, the dice combat is not that interesting. It feels interesting, but it's not that interesting. Apple Knees, excellent to something, I guess. Successful Geek, I heard Wonderlands of War entered the Alex Permanent Collection. Spoilers. Wonderlands of War absolutely entered the Alex Permanent Collection, although there's no such thing as the Alex Permanent Collection. The Alex Permanent Collection is the collection of games that I like, at any given point, when I add a game to my shelf as opposed to putting it on my leaving the collection pile, there's always a question mark in my head of how long that game lasts. Sometimes I put it on the shelf and I'm like, hey, it might be gone in 3 months. If it doesn't get played, if I don't have an instinct to play it, it might be gone in 3 months. Other times I hold on to it and I'm like, this is going to be here for years. If I had to make a guess on Wonderlands War, I would say, and there's a caveat, there's always a caveat, I'll explain the caveat. I would say I believe Wonderlands War is likely to be in my collection for 2+ years. That's the number I'm putting on it, okay? Could it be longer than that? Yeah. Could it be less than that? Absolutely. The biggest caveat every single time, and like Merchant's Cove is a great example of this caveat, because I don't know what happens with Merchant's Cove right now, is sometimes I like a game more than my general group does. If I continue to introduce Wonderlands War to other members of my group and they don't like it, then it won't get played because it's a 4-player game. And if it won't get picked, if it won't get played, then that's a problem I can't help with. And then it might leave earlier, not because I don't like it, but because it's not getting tabled. Like Merchant's Cove, I want to keep playing, but practically speaking, my game group doesn't pull it out. And so it's in this weird spot where I should get rid of it, but I don't get rid of it yet. But Wonderlands War, that's the only question I have on whether it would be under 2 years. But I really enjoy it. I think it's a solid game. I like it a lot. But yeah, we'll see. Rayopa, yes, Alex, you are Pargerman. What does Pargerman mean, though? That's the problem. I don't know what Pargerman means. Matthias Boden, Alex, good morning. Good morning, Matthias. Professor Matt, you're forgiven. The live roasting made it worth it. I feel bad. I genuinely do. Only because it's, by the way, only because it's Chip 3 games. If it was like some other random release, it is what it is. I'm not going to tell you every single thing. But we do Chip 3 game stuff together. We played Hop Marcus together. We played Victorium. Well, that's Victorium. We played Hop Marcus together. We played Cloudspire together. We played Too Many Bones together. We have not played Burn Cycle. We need to play Burn Cycle together. I know that we already talked Chip 3 games. We're going to be playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion together. Yeah, I feel bad because it's Chip 3. Riddle Sphinx. I'm literally setting up the retail version of Wonderlands War right now for a game after work. Looking forward to your review for fun. Yeah, I don't know when the review goes up, though. It's going up sometime before the next campaign. I don't know exactly when. My review schedule for the next few weeks is way too crammed. Absolutely way too crammed. Wantover, have you played Brazil Imperial or are you excited for it? I have not played Brazil Imperial. I was and am excited for it, but someone also said it's basically just Scythe, which makes me less excited for it because I thought Scythe was good, not great. But still excited for it. Board Game Officer, yes, I think these Q&As need to be while holding the sword. It's giving you powers. Excellent plan. Excellent plan. The sword is back. The sword is back. Let's go ahead and do the swagger. Okay, we got this. We got Cartographer's Hero set up. We'll be playing that after the stream. We got the sword set up. Okay, Successful Geek, I'm betting on ATO because I backed ATO and not OS1. You see, that's your problem, Successful. You're going based on what you backed. I'm going based on what I played. I played both of them. Have you played both of them? I don't know if you have, so I'm going to go with OS1. Also, I also have the benefit of knowing that OS1's getting tons of positive coverage left, right, and center, which definitely helps. Reed McCullough, to make it up to Meg, I think gifting her Devin is the only... Gifting her Devin is the only thing you can do. I can't gift a person. That's horrific. Plus, I'm paying Devin, so no, Meg can't have Devin. Patrick O'Neill, did you say a new campaign for Wonderlands War? I must have missed that. Yes, Wonderlands War announced the Shards of Madness or something like that. It's basically a reprint campaign, so they're going to be doing a reprint campaign with a mini, like, Shards of Madness thingamajiggy, so that will be fun. It's more about the reprint, and I think the expansion's on the miniature side. Pablo Toban, can you tell us anything else about the Tebu platform? No? I mean, the Tebu platform is a fun little platform for playing games. I am very excited that they are doing sword and sorcery. They're doing sword and sorcery on the Tebu platform, which I'm very excited for because I think that's an excellent implementation of the Tebu platform. Dun dun dun. Can you tell us anything else? Let's see. Loopy, S tier are the best friends. Ooh, S tier. I wonder who my S tier friends are. Matthias, your latest impression of Dune. Review of Guards of Atlantis 2 coming up. My group has been freaking loving it. I'm excited to see what you think. Matthias, impression of Dune we covered on this video, as well as Guards of Atlantis 2. Both these things we covered. I will say Guards of Atlantis 2 is delightful. Your group has good taste. Well, Guards of Atlantis is delightful. I haven't actually played 2, but I assume it's delightful. Tyler Beck, good morning, Alex. Were you able to get reviews of all 16 games we played at WSBG like you'd planned? I feel like there might be a few you didn't make it to. Tyler, Good question. So, for those who don't know, I was doing a review series of games for WSBG where I was like, you know what? I'm going to WSBG, the World Series of Board Gaming. That's going to be next week, and I want to cover reviews of all 16 games that they're going to have at the convention, except for the ones I already reviewed. Like, I'd already reviewed, I don't remember. I've reviewed, like, 3 of their games in the past anyway. Don't remember which ones they were. But the point is, Dune Imperium, like, I already reviewed Dune Imperium, for example, and others. But, so to that end, I was doing a series of reviews for WSBG. The problem is, my calendar is so chock full of time-sensitive Kickstarter content and time-sensitive retail content that I keep pushing these off. So the short answer is, I've actually filmed most of the reviews for WSBG. I have, like, almost all the WSBG games are reviewed at this point. The only ones I have not reviewed because I haven't played, there's 2 I haven't reviewed because I haven't played, which is Gaia Project and Dominant Species Marine. Still have not played, still have not reviewed. And then I have not reviewed Acquire because I don't have a copy, and I'm not paying $60 for a copy just to review it. But I know Acquire and could review it. In fact, I dove into Acquire again recently, just online, to dive into it because I'll be commenting on that game. So I don't have 3 of them reviewed. The rest are all reviewed. As far as when they're going up, though, most of them are going to be going up after WSBG apparently, instead of beforehand, because I waited too long and too many games are competing for spots of attention. Johnny McNabb, Professor Meg, you need to give Devin a cape. He said he's part of your board Avengers and he wants a cape. He should get a cape, absolutely. Delando Alberto, do you think the Forsaken campaign should do better? Is it what the publisher expected? Delando, excellent question. Do I think the Forsaken campaign should do better? Should is an interesting question. I think the Forsaken campaign is doing well. I would say if it had been doing worse, I'd be surprised, and if it had been doing better, I would not have been surprised. So I guess arguably a bit better, but I also think it's an expensive game, and there's lots of competing eyes on Kickstarter right now. Like right now, the day that Forsaken launched, you had like 8 other campaigns launched that all crossed 100K. It was a lot of campaigns competing for a lot of money. I think that makes it tough. John McNabb, Alex, will you have more content as Vanguard once to live in October? Love your playthrough with Jesse. Johnny, I think the answer is probably no, or at least not soon enough, because the practical reality, although it depends. It depends. Meg and I might make time for it. The practical reality is that, in general, it's a little harder to prioritize content I already reviewed for preview content, because I already did the videos, I already got like coverage in it, and so there's always a backlog of things. There's always a backlog. Although maybe I can play it and count as game found work time. Maybe we'll do that. I won't do that. Nicole Pinel, what do you think of the original Twilight Imperium? I have not played Twilight Imperium. Can you suggest a game with similar impact without the 6 hours gameplay? No, because I don't know what the similar impact would be yet, although I will be playing Twilight Imperium at PAX, so we'll talk about that. Alphaba, do you think the Merchant's Cove Mastercraft solo scenarios will be engaging? Did you try them? Sadly, I did not. Sorry. Successful Geek, would Forsaken have done better on GameFound? An excellent question, Successful. An excellent question. Let's go ahead and put down my sword and talk about that. The short answer is there are different types of campaigns that do better on GameFound, and there are campaigns that don't do as well on GameFound. I think Forsaken is a campaign that we absolutely could have done a great job on GameFound. Better, though, is always a hard call. It's very hard to know that. When I talk to creators about getting them over on GameFound, I tell them, here are the things we're going to do to make your project successful, and here's why we believe this is a good fit. But also, you need to walk into this understanding that when the campaign is done, you might sit there and look at the totals and say, well, I should have been on Kickstarter. But the reverse is true as well. Guess what? It's a gamble. It's a gamble with your money, although we're going to do the best we can to convince you that GameFound's the right platform for you. Anyways, thanks, Alex. I'm also a bit... No, I skipped a comment. Sashavin, have you checked out the Darkest Dungeon rulebook? Yes, if so, any thoughts on it? No, I played through the Darkest Dungeon walkthrough of the intro scenario, which isn't really the rulebook, it's the starting guide. So, no thoughts on the rulebook, although the intro guide was very well done. I thought that was fun. Sebastian, thanks, Alex. I'm also a bit concerned about dice rolling on combat. Prefer the system Kemet uses. Yeah, Kemet has a great system. I like to. Again, overall, the dice combat didn't bother me. But when I was trying to think through it critically, that's what I came up with. Shani Marmon, Chris George has no catchphrase. Devin has one. Devin is obviously more of a tryhard, but they're both similar. Shani, I think you've been fooled. Chris George does have a catchphrase. Successful Geek. Sebastian, have you seen what Fateforge is doing with his dice rolling? I like the system they are using. Successful. Fateforge's dice system is actually similar to Dune's action system. It's like you roll dice for your actions. Gabriel Kalman, hi Alex, are you coming to Essen? I am sadly not coming to Essen, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I'm not coming to Essen. I wish I was. The problem is I'm going to WSBG right before Essen, and then I'm going from there to the holidays in Toronto, so timing-wise it does not work out. Ryopa, Alex, it means you are Poggers. I don't know what Poggers is. Who or what is Poggers? I don't even know. Professor Meg, for real, I thought this was our next solo co-op game. I'm sorry. Successful Geek, when are you playing... Whoa, oh, wait, 1 second. No, what are you? I'm 8 minutes behind. Jeez. Successful Geek. When are you playing Too Many Bones campaign on Camp Co-op? Successful Geek. Eventually. Eventually, Camp Co-op is gonna get to a point where we're streaming every day. Until that happens, though, we're just gonna keep thinking we're streaming every day. Professor Meg, Johnny McNabb, I'm on it. Stacy, Everdell, Chris George, catchphrases. I have no catchphrase. See, Stacy's got my back. Stacy knows what's up. That's right. Board Game Officer, sword in hand, immediately points the sword at the camera while talking to Successful Geek. That is correct. Absolutely. Successful as a character. Ben Mangold, finally caught you live. Good morning, Ben Mangold. I'm here every morning at 10 a.m. Except for the next 2 weeks. I'm here every morning except for the next 2 weeks at 10 a.m. Michael Joseph, do you ever play Ankh with the Pharaoh expansion? Nope, not yet, but it will happen one day. Successful Geek, Sebastian, basically they have dice that have purposes, but you can also slot them into abilities and items your character has to change those purposes. Yes, I did like that part of Fate Forge. The ability to gather equipment that lets you help mitigate around the dice, I did like that. Ice Hammer, hi Alex. Hi Ice Hammer. Successful Geek. Nope, wait, Ice Hammer. Did you have a chance to play Spark Riders 3000? I did not, but I did download the app this morning because I picked up the copy from Quackalope. This sword, they're getting a little edge there. Oh, I see what's irritating my finger. Let's turn it around. But yeah, the Spark Riders 3000, I picked up a copy from Quackalope. They reached out to me. They said, could you please play it? Because you said nice things about our game and we want more coverage on our game. And I was like, fine. No, I actually do want to play it. I just don't have time. I don't have time at all. Successful Geek, how do you feel about Bidoku? I feel like I should probably play it. Stacy Everdell, by the way, hi Professor Meg. Good morning, Stacy and Professor Meg. Hazik, hi Alex, do you think Dice Throne Season 3 will ever be released and would your wife get it? Hazik, I think Dice Throne Season 3 will probably be released in some form or another. It might be Marvel Season 2, I don't know. I think my wife will make me get it, even though I think we have more Dice Throne than we will ever reasonably play. I enjoy Dice Throne. I don't enjoy Dice Throne to the point that I need 24 characters of it. That's a different problem. Eric, why did you rearrange the game covers in your Calyx? Eric, one day I sat there and I was like, you know what? I've been doing these videos for way too long without rearranging the game covers of my Calyx. I should rearrange the game covers of my Calyx. That was the extent of the conversation with myself. And then I rearranged the game covers of my Calyx. It won't happen frequently. I don't care enough to specifically do it, but it will happen infrequently because I like the occasional change of pace. Also, it means the fun part is because I like film my videos in advance, like I have like 45 videos filmed in advance already, it means there's going to be this fun alternating game of like, ooh, but this is an early, this is a later, this is an early, this is a later. Yeah, we're going to have to play that game. Applenease, have you thought about purposely bringing up the Dune campaign around Devin more often in order to tempt him and give us a 16-hour stream? Applenease, I'm pretty sure we're going to get that 16-hour stream. Neo Reziel, hi Alex. Hi Neo Reziel. Alessandro, have you played the Undaunted series? Thoughts? Alessandro, I have played Undaunted. I like Undaunted. I don't love Undaunted. I like the system. I find that I like the Undaunted system. I do not love the Undaunted system. See my review of War Chest if you want a similar opinion and question. Stacey Everdell, have you ever spilled coffee on your beautiful table? It makes me nervous sitting there on the edge. No, I have not spilled coffee on my table ever. Once upon a time, though, I did spill something. It was because I was doing Twitch, Camp Co-op and Twitch, and I put a water bottle behind me. And at the end of, I can't even remember if it was, I don't think it was a live stream. I think Meg and I were getting set up, this like before we started our live streams. And at the end of it, I reached behind me and knocked it over. So one time in my life, I've spilled something on this table, but it's usually the infrequent thing. I'm usually pretty decent about knocking things, I'm pretty decent about not knocking things over. I'm catching up on the questions. I'm only 3 bits behind now. Carlos, have you had a chance to look at Civitas 2330? Nope, never even heard of it. Dale Rancourt, yes, let's do that 16-hour live stream with Alex playing War of the Ring. Dale, it will happen. Now that Devin knows it, we have War of the Ring planned for our next trip over to Devin. The next time the next time Meg and I visit Devin, or just me, I think we're planning on going together. I don't know, we'll see. But the next time we visit Devin, there will be War of the Ring happening. Probably, maybe, possibly. Sebastian, Alex, will you do a new playthrough of Encyclopedia as we'll hit backers next month since you were so excited with the prototype? I'm curious to see your thoughts on the final product. I would certainly be down for that. I love Encyclopedia. Like, I just played Encyclopedia again, like, a month ago. I love that game. Still love it. Cecil Geek, Poggers, a Twitch emote typically used to express enthusiasm, enthrallment, or other sophisticated emotions of happiness and dopamine. Fine, Poggers I am. Pablo Tobin, how do you feel about Kingdom Come Deliverance delivering to December 2024? Just finished Madara. Any suggestions on which narrative game to try now? Kingdom Come Deliverance delivering December 2024. I mean, that's not that. I guess it's a little crazy. But honestly, that's just reality. The only question you have with campaign dates that far out is it going to be December 2025 instead? But otherwise, the 2 years doesn't bother me. As far as any suggestions on which narrative game to try now, ISS Vanguard. Try ISS Vanguard. That's always fun. Our roleplay adventures, I'm really having a lot of fun with that. It's on the lighter side, but I like it. Neo Rizio, some years ago you said that if you only have to keep one game, Too Many Bones could be the one. Still on the same page even nowadays. Yes, absolutely. For context, I just did a video recently of, I actually may have chosen it. I'm pretty sure I chose it. So I did a podcast with 5 games for Doomsday. And it's an interview podcast, but part of the premise is if you can only keep 5 games, which 5 would you keep? Too Many Bones was on that list. But at the very end of the podcast, he asks the question, oh no, you're down to only one game. Which one would it be? I think I picked Too Many Bones. Honestly, all the games I picked were all pretty awesome, but I think I picked Too Many Bones. If I could only pick one game, I think Too Many Bones, obviously only if I'm counting all the content, to be clear. I'm not crazy. But yeah. Dun dun dun. Press a Meg. Hi, Stacey Everdell. Devir Emdum Barashar. Alex, what can we do about Fridhaven? Fridhaven? What's Fridhaven? I don't know what Fridhaven is. Frosthaven? Board Game Officer, I do notice Madara is still up there, meaning it has not been played yet. Yeah. We'll get to it. Oh my gosh. Meg, we were supposed to play Madara with Successful Online. That has not happened. Jeez. Peter Baltha, do you plan to make any more Darkest Dungeon content? Yes, Peter, I absolutely do. I already started diving into the intro scenario. Hopefully I'll dive into it more this weekend. We'll see, but I would love to play it. I would love to do some Darkest Dungeon content. Omar, good morning. How's it going? Srebme, hi, all joining late. Oh no, Alex is swinging the sword again. Spicy Alex in the house. So, Spicy Alex is only partially here. Basically, someone said I should pick up the sword. And I did. But that means I'm only partially spicy. Last time I was like really spicy. This time I'm just like, hey, I'm holding a sword spicy. It's a little different level of spicy. I do have coffee though. Successful Geek, I'm waiting for Alex to shatter the mug accidentally with the sword. That will never happen. This mug is way too important to me. Although, fun fact, for those who have an Ember mug, my base stopped charging last past week. Like 2 weeks ago, it stopped charging, and I was very sad about that. Do you know what the good news is? You can buy a set of new bases. For $40, I bought for $40 a set of 2 new bases. So apparently, if your Ember mug breaks from the base, you don't need to buy a whole new Ember mug. Just buy a new base. I did that. It cost me $20. Well, 40, but I got 2 of them, so it counts. Hazik. My wife enjoys a game where we can cooperatively win or lose together. She loves Lords of Waterdeep and Dead of Winter. I don't understand that sentence. Lords of Waterdeep is not a co-op game. Could you recommend another co-op game based on those 2 mentioned? So, I'm going to try to answer you, even though it's not really... So, Lords of Waterdeep is not co-op. Dead of Winter at 2 players is co-op. Could you recommend another co-op game based on those 2 mentioned? I mean, Spirit Island offhand, but that's a little bit more complicated. Meg, you might be able to help with this. Camp co-op team. A game that's similar vibes to those 2. I mean, Zombicide is going to have slightly similar vibes to Dead of Winter. That's not bad. Worker placement co-op. I don't know if there's like strong worker placement co-ops out there. I'm trying to think what I like. I like the loop a lot, but I don't know if necessarily for any reason that fits this conversation. I just like the loop a lot. Yeah. Dun dun dun. Jose, please make Devin do your comment replies. Jose. Part of what I have Devin doing is going to be some comment replies. I'm still going to be replying to comments as well, but I always feel bad that I don't reply to as many, so Devin's going to be doing some comment replies. Professor Meg, meanwhile, I spilled coffee my wormwood 3 times while you were here. Yeah, Meg, yeah. I mean, honestly, you just put beverages and drinks and food directly on your table in a way I would not. I do beverages only. That's all I do. Anytime I do anything above beverages, it's because I'm trying to accommodate somebody and not feel like a ridiculously over-the-top stickler, but I still want to be an over-the-top stickler. Okay, let's keep going. Ben Cartier, I see Clash of Culture in the background. Have you played it? I played the original. I have not played the Monumental Edition. I really like the original, and I want to play the Monumental Edition. Robbie Sanger, have you been able to play Looney Tunes? No, I have not been able to play. I read the rules for the Mayhem system, the Looney Tunes Mayhem system, but I haven't actually tabled it yet. Probably soon. Stacy, my mom is concerned for you being well with that sword so close to your neck. So, fun fact, this sword is not sharp enough to cause any serious damage, unfortunately. The tip is, like, if I'm actually scared to poke this with any strength, because the tip is actually pretty sharp, but this over here, I'm afraid, like, it's not going to do anything that interesting. Sorry to spoil the illusion. Reed McCullough, Successful Geek, that would be nearly as epic as his initial live stream with the sword. Gregory, just tuned in. Why the sword? Because somebody said, please pick up the sword, and I'm not going to say no to that. It's a sword. Aziel, how long do I keep my half-finished campaign this setup, hogging my game table, not being played, but don't have the heart to tear it down? Aziel, that's a fun question that I don't have a good answer for you. I generally keep a campaign game up sometimes longer than I should. And then at a certain point, like usually like 3 or 4 weeks in, if I haven't played it, I'm like, it's time to put it away. But it's tough. It is tough. So, Successful Geek, you don't like me, so of course Madara is delayed. It can definitely wait until after WSBG. Yeah, Successful, Madara is delayed because, well, I mean, I love you, I appreciate you, but we don't have time for everything we want to do. Dale Rancourt, hi Alex, love to see you do a live Q&A with Meg and Devin. I could foresee the chaos. Dale, we have done live Q&As. If you've missed it, by the way, we did a live Q&A at Devin's house a few, months ago, I guess. I think it was, I want to say it was July. That sounds right. July sounds right. So in July, we did a live stream over at Devin's house. There will be more live stream content, both with Devin and I, both with Meg and I, both with Devin, Meg, and I. There's also going to be lots more videos. For those who don't really know what's going on, part of what I did when I took the GamePound job is I used the opportunity of the fact that I have another job again to kind of justify just putting money towards hiring Devin and Meg. Devin's starting in October. Meg is starting point undefined, but I mean, like, we always do stuff together anyway. This is just going to be with more regularity and more degrees of trying to sync up travel and then like do like 8 or 9 videos together and having them up on the channel. So it's going to be a lot more Devin and Meg content, even though there already was before. There's going to be more of it. Why? Because I like them. Because it's fun. The banter is just fun. The two of them. I do feel outnumbered when it's the two of them and me. I like my videos with Meg. I like my videos with Devin. When it's Devin, me, and Meg, I feel outnumbered by 2 chaos people. It's still fun, though. Dun dun dun. Let's see. Dan Brown, just curious how much coffee you drink a day. I drink 2 of these a day. This is around 12 ounces of coffee. I drink 2 a day. On the off days, I'll have a third one. So generally between 24 to 36 ounces a day is what I'd say. Oh, this is all double shot espresso. So I guess 4 shots of espresso. That's another way of answering it. Delando Albatu, did you play Zia solo yet? I have not. I was just debating it, but I have not. Professor Meg, Vagrant Song has been great. Spooky like Dead of Winter, but nothing like it play-wise. I did not love... No, that's not true. I liked Vagrant Song a lot. I didn't love it, though. I had some complaints about, just managing it. Felt like a lot of work. Hazik, Eldritch Horror for the win. Ooh, that's not a bad choice. Not a bad choice at all. Hazik, thanks, Alex. Your suggestions are valued. I appreciate it. Gregory, Sword Explain, thank you. Any thoughts on Daybreak coming soon? Daybreak? What's Daybreak? Is Daybreak the new backer kit campaign? If Daybreak is a new backer kit campaign, I think it's called Daybreak, right? If that's the case, then my answer is I thought it looked... And I understand that I am a GameFound employee now, so take that into account, just in case you care. But I thought Daybreak looked bad. Like, the visual style they're going for, I didn't like at all. I haven't looked at the game yet. I will be looking into it more. I assume the game is good, but the visual style just didn't appeal to me. Sword Explained, Professor Meg, maybe Mice and Mystics, also Familiar Tales and Stuffed Fables are both by Plaid Hat, makers of Dead of Winter. Hazik, thank you. Stacy. Oh, Meg, by the way, in our video, we talked about how Dead of Winter was, like, not as common anymore, and someone pointed out that I forgot about this. I don't know if you know this part, Meg, but Asmodee acquired Plaid Hat Games, and then Plaid Hat Games kind of reacquired themselves. But I think they lost some titles in the process of that back and forth, and I think they lost Dead of Winter, so it kind of became a dead project, unfortunately. Azik, thank you, Professor Meg. Dean Microsim, do you like Bang the Walking Dead? We play with a large group. I have never loved the Bang system. I haven't played Bang the Walking Dead, but the other Bang games I've played, I have not loved. Board Games Toronto, nice, a live Q&A. Board Games Toronto, how is Toronto? What happens if you move? Do you change the name of your channel? That's an interesting question. I'm curious about that. Do you change the name of your channel? Like, I mean, it's just, you have to think about the names of your channel. Like, I mean, imagine if, like, my channel was named after, like, a board game store and I closed down the board game store. Like, what am I going to do? Like, rename the channel? Like, you got to think about your name and the reason before you do that, right? Egoland. Mice and Mystics has great story, but I found older games there's too much temptation to min-max beyond what's designed for. Interesting. Adil, what are your thoughts on the Come On Dune Kickstarter now that they've offered an all-in that's a better deal? So Adil, I expected them to offer an all-in because that just makes sense. I wonder if I can catch this by the blade. I probably can't throw this. No, this is too narrow a space. No, I don't want to do that. That's too much. If I was like standing up and outside, I have to like get a handle for. I don't know. I'm getting distracted by the sword tossing, but can I? No, I'm a little nervous to do it. Maybe some other time. Maybe in some other video. But let's start with this. See, this I can do. No, the strap's gonna get in the way. But like this, you gotta go a toss. Nope, the strap got in the way. I can juggle like swords and fire, but like this is not necessarily balanced for throwing. So I got distracted by that. Anyways, going back to your question. The Dune Kickstarter. So the Dune Kickstarter, they offered an all-in, which I expected. They had a third expansion, which I expected. The all-in is less than $300, which I did not expect. Kudos to them for that. I think it's definitely going to go ahead. I think it's a good back and a better back, and it's why they're going to finally cross $1 million. I still think it's underperforming for what the IP and the creators are doing, but I think Come On has, they've burned some bridges with things they've done, and they've now updated the shipping prices, but it has people scared off. I think it's all reasonable, and I think the Kickstarter exclusives are still on the lighter side, for better or for worse. But I think it's a better back. I'm backing all in. Eric Longman. How can Tom Vassell say Brass Birmingham feels too much like work and doesn't yet like it, yet he ranks Le Havre as one of his top games? Eric, it sounds like you're asking me to explain a Tom Vassell opinion. I would say... So here's the answer I'll give you. Actually, I could answer this. I don't know why I gave you that. I take back the flack I'm giving you. I can answer that. I love Brass Birmingham, and I love Le Havre. Brass Birmingham feels more like work. It does. It's just the mental energy of Brass Birmingham. Le Havre is almost pure, just you can just go on a pathway in Le Havre and just have fun with it. And whether you win or not, you don't have the mental pressure of juggling 14 things. Brass has more of a mental pressure of juggling 14 things. So I think it's very different, actually. I love both. But yeah, Brass feels more like work. So this is Leaks. Forgotten Waters is fantastic with higher player counts as an alternative to Dead of Winter. I want to play Forgotten Waters, but I don't want to play it I won't play it at higher player counts. Professor Mag, yeah, I did know, but I forgot. That's why they did Ashes Reborn once they left Asmodee. Yep. Lucky666, what's with this Kingdom Build Anniversary Edition that just launched? They just had a campaign? Wait, what? What? No way. No way. 1 second. My phone just dropped. 1 second. You're saying that Kingdom Builder has a campaign? 1 second. Kingdom Builder Anniversary Edition. This makes no sense. Kingdom Builder Kickstarter. Let me check this out. Okay. Empire Edition. They had the Empire Edition. Okay. Kingdom Builder Empire. I don't see it over here. Maybe I have to go to the actual Kickstarter. You're saying there's an Anniversary Edition that just launched on Kickstarter? Am I missing this? Didn't Queen Games just do something on GameFound? I can't click. There we go. There, creator. Okay, creator. Just got the email. Collaborators. See full profile. No. Okay. Following. Nope. Back. 1 second. I'm trying to find. I apologize here. I just want to see this now. Queen Games. Okay. 69 created. Kingdom Builder Anniversary Edition. What kind of garbage is this? What is this? I don't understand what's happening. This is the strangest... I'm sorry. Let me just try to figure out what's going on over here. So, they just had the Giant Empire Edition. Now they have the Anniversary Edition. I don't understand this. Are there like 2 teams at Queen Games like who separately got the notes to launch their own project? I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. I'm going to look into this more later. I am absolutely baffled and bamboozled by the confusion of what's going on here. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. 1 second. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. Have you heard of a game called Casting Shadows? No, wait, I'm losing the chat now. Successful Geek. TW. Blood Incoming. TW? What's TW? Do you mean CW, like content warning? Don't do the flip. I want to do the flip now. Rayopa, I've been playing Anzen recently and noticed you don't have any full reviews in the game. What do you think about it? Personally, I've been enjoying it. I liked Anzen, didn't love Anzen. I'm surprised Anzen is as high as it is. I think it's a good game. Don't love it quite as much. Don Diablo, glad to see the live. How have you been? Don, I've been doing great. I've been having coffee. I've been almost flipping swords. All the things you can expect in life. Carolina, I'm so jealous of the sword, Alex. Yeah, the sword. Oh, Carolina. How's it going? How are you doing? Yeah, the sword is definitely fun. May Laxton, have you tried any Sailor Brothers MDS style board games? What's your favorite, if ever? I've played Street Masters. I think that's the only one I've played. I really did enjoy Street Masters, but I didn't keep it. I compared it to Marvel Champions and the feelings it gave me, and I prefer Marvel Champions. Hi Alex, I recently got Too Many Bones Undertone and love it. Which Gearlock would you add if you can only choose one? I have not played enough Gearlocks to answer this one confidently. I do enjoy Tantrum. Let's see. Reed McCullough, the sword flip almost elevated this chat to number 1, but the chicken out turned it to clickbait. This is a mistake. This is a mistake, just for the record. No, almost got it. There we go. Okay. I can catch a sword. I just needed someone to, like, call me a chicken, and that's enough for me. Let's see. I want to watch it. Give me a second to watch it back now. Okay, the first one I missed. It took me 2 flips, which is not bad. The first one is you always need the first one to get an idea of what the throw is like. I didn't catch the first one, by the way. The second one I caught. There we go. Perfect. Aziel, never got into the Dune IP. Does it seem like it's being overdone now with everyone jumping on it, or is it purely the latest hype? It's probably the latest hype. The movies definitely help with that. Loopy, Kingdom Build Anniversary Edition. Just got the email. So confusing. Carolina, we're not worthy of seeing this sword. Board Game Officer, I will never hit my coffee cup with the sword. 5 minutes later, can I throw and flip the sword? Apparently the answer is yes, I can, okay? Thanks to someone calling me a chicken, I went with it. 85 for early bird and 100 for later. Petrified coming in late, but hello. Lucky 66, LOL. Rick, hi Alex, if you're going to change or add one official rule to Zombicide Black Plague, considering all expansions, what would it be? An official rule. The rule I use is you can never have more abominations or necromancers more than your level. So if you're in blue, you can only have 1 abomination and 1 necromancer on the board. If you're in orange, you can only have 2 abominations and 2 necromancers. So that's what I go with. Eric, if you were to design a dungeon crawler game, what theme would you pick? BioShock. Definitely BioShock. Successful Geek, I can never bring myself to back a Queen Games campaign. I understand that. Successful Geek, TW is trigger warning. Oh, TW is trigger warning, that makes sense. Recently I've been seeing content warning more, so that was in my head. Food Flights, Buenos Tacos, what is the most time you spend playing a game in a single session? Possibly through the ages for around 7 hours. Possibly. Hazik, have you ever heard of a game called Casting Shadows, and would you do a review on it? Isn't Casting Shadows new? Isn't it not out yet? Isn't that from the Unstable Unicorns people? Petrified, how do you store your sleeves and how often do you buy new ones? I have a cupboard in my basement, like in the corner over there, that just has all my sleeves. It's just giantly full of sleeves. I usually buy new ones from Sleeve Kings when I can, so yeah. Reed McCullough, epic. Yes, I'm very happy I actually threw the sword. Stacy, nice. Lots. Think you might come to Cincinnati and visit the new Capstone Games retail store opening in a couple of weeks. Capstone Games is opening a retail store in Cincinnati? That's hilarious. I love it. Dale Rancourt, nice. Sebastian and Mersin watching this in anxiety. No, the sword is never going to hurt anything. The only reason not to throw the sword is because if you do it horribly, it's really embarrassing on live. That was the reason not to throw it. Because I could have thrown it and then caught it by the edge, and that would have just been like not like the bestest for me. So it just wouldn't have looked good. It would have been like, yeah, I threw the sword. As opposed to I actually managed to do a decent job with it, which is much better. It was all embarrassment. It wasn't fear for my life. Fear for my life is fine. Zach Mayo, are you excited for the Mortality expansion for Dune Imperium? Yes, I love Dune Imperium, so yes. Do you think Arnak will put out a chunky expansion at some point? I assume so, yes. Sashvin, Kumar Sashvin, Dune Imperium with Deluxe Upgrade Box or Brass and Birmingham Deluxe? Brass Birmingham Deluxe. I don't actually care for the Dune Imperium upgrades. I love Dune Imperium, the upgrades don't care about. Endemius, just got out of a 5-hour My Father's Work played. Have you played that one? I almost played My Father's Work, although hearing it's 5 hours makes me almost happy I didn't. Successful Geek, thinking about bringing My Father's Work to game night this weekend. Yeah, go for it. Let me know how it goes. Professor Meg, yeah, impale a game box behind you. Do I have any extra boxes I could impale? That's an excellent question. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Because, like, sometimes I have extra boxes because I'm getting rid of, like I might consolidate Tainted Grail, but until I know I am, I don't know if I have any game boxes I'm comfortable impaling right here. I do have extras, just, you know, nothing extra at the moment, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Also, the practical reality is I probably need a person to hold the game box, otherwise the sword is just going to push the game box. Board Game Officer, can you do 2 flips, meaning a double? No, I can't, but that's not my fault. That's the nature of, well, actually it is my fault. I was going to say that the ceiling here is not as high as you might think. This is a basement here, so for example, I'm going to hold the sword. One second, and we are now hitting the ceiling. That's the ceiling right there. It's not very high, so a double flip would be harder to do. Practically speaking, you can always compensate. Like in juggling, there's 2 ways to do a double flip. There's higher or faster. So I could do faster, but that is something I'm not going to try in camera. That might hurt someone. Celeb me. Samuel Dias. Ice Vanguard is coming Friday, so hype. Enjoy it. Samuel Dias. Sreb me. Arik, have to get back to work. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Sreb me. We'll be done shortly, so you're not missing much. Petrified. Hello, Professor Meg. Professor Meg. No, LOL. Cecil Geek, but you told him to. K. Parker, what do you think about Age of Common Books campaign on Kickstarter? Don't know about it. Hazik, how tall are you in centimeters? I don't know. I'm 5'8". Do the math, I guess. I grew up Canadian, and so some things I think in, like, I can do temperature, I can do Celsius easily, I can do kilometers easily because driving all the time, but I never really got used to thinking in centimeters. Fun fact, even Canadians will often measure themselves in feet. We blame our American neighbors, but we do. So I'm 5'8". Dun dun dun. B. McCullough. Devin holding a game box as part of his new job. Shortest employment ever. Aziel, Professor Meg, did Alex end up forcing you to get rid of a game from the other week when he trashed your collection? No, although I do owe Meg $40. Meg, remind me to send you $40 today. I'm going to have to do that after the stream over here. Yeah, I owe Meg $40, and I believe someone is not owed, but tentatively owed a copy. Who did it? Aziel, did you do it? Whoever did it, I need your address. I need an address. If you could send it over to alex@boardgameco.com via email. Send me over your address. Whoever bought, what's it called? What was the game, Meg? It starts with the T. Tammany Hall. Whoever bought Tammany Hall, please send me your address so I can get a copy over to you. Maybe, if Meg is going to deal with the guilt tripping. Successful. Age of Comic Books, I think is what you meant. Oh, I didn't realize Age of Comic Books launched. Happy for them. Board Game BGT. Do you play games not because you think you'll enjoy, but mostly for the hobby? Wait, what? Wait, do you play a game not because you think you'll enjoy, but for the hobby? And every game you should play. I am more likely to prioritize some games for that. So, for example, War of the Ring or Twilight Imperium are games that I both have an interest in, but also, like, I think they're games everyone should play. But I wouldn't pick a game that I have no interest in just because everyone should play it, if that makes sense. So it might adjust things a bit, but not that much. Severism, is Hunter AD still on your plans? Is Hunter AD still on your plans for unboxing? Yes. Yes, I'm behind. I'm sorry. Petrified, is CTG's new Skyrim game supposed to be similar to Too Many Bones? Yes, it is. It is definitely similar to Too Many Bones. They are using the core Too Many Bones gameplay system, but they are changing it. So think about it like Zombicide to Zombicide, although possibly more different, but it definitely shares overlap. Professor Bag, Tammany Hall. You got it, exactly. Petrified, no, you're never getting my address. Petrified, was it you? If it was you, send me the address. Alex@BoardGameCo.com. Giving me the $40 won't help if Meg doesn't get rid of the game. Egolang, Anniversary Edition looks like it's Empire Edition minus the expansions and only a $5,000 funding target. I don't understand Queen games. I really don't. They're so bizarre. Like, they're so bizarre. Not said meanfully, just they're bizarre. Stacy, have you ever played Anachrony? No, but I've read the rules to it. Petrified, although I guess you technically already have it. Do I have your address already? Do I? I don't know. Rick, what's your current go-to game that you want others to play with you? No consideration for their feelings or interest. What's your current go-to game that you want others to play with you? I mean, there's always a lot at any given point. There's so many games. Vindication is always up there. I always love Vindication. Always happy to play that one. Hop, would you say that Parks, like Cascadia, is a great game, but not one that reaches very high peaks of excitement? Parks, I think I get some higher degrees of excitement. There's some real degrees of screwage you can get in Parks that are very, very satisfying. So, maybe a drop higher. By the way, for the record, we are at 11:04, which means we will be closing up this stream shortly. Not this second, but shortly we'll be closing up the stream. Thank you all for being here. Getting in your last questions. This is the last one for 3 weeks, apparently. Maybe. Possibly. Unless Meg convinces me to do one next week. Meg wanted to do one next week in Vegas. We might, but also no guarantees. Expect nothing, but we'll see. Let's see. Samuel, what game are you most looking forward to playing that hasn't arrived yet, or the Kickstarter GameFound campaign hasn't begun yet? Didn't I just do a video on this? Like, I just did a video. Primal. Absolutely primal. Delando, did you get DEI already? No, sadly not. I enjoyed it a lot, but only 3 games in so far. Yeah, I've only played DEI once, but I really enjoyed my one play. Like, a lot. Jay Langley, should I go all in on Oath 1 given that budget isn't an issue? If budget's not an issue, then yes. If budget is an issue, we should have a conversation. Successful Geek, Delando, I'm still waiting my copy of DEI. Very excited to get it and hoping I like it because Alex made me buy it. Both Successful and I walked in planning not to buy it, and then we both did, so we're both bad people. BGT, I'm finding this hobby starting to get expensive to buy larger houses to keep the collection and raising a few kids to leave my cards. Do you think the same? The hobby is very expensive, but it doesn't have to be expensive. I think if you have disposable income, it can be an expensive hobby. And if you don't have disposable income, it can be a very affordable hobby. I think it is the hobby that you want it to be, and I encourage spending responsibly. It's not easy. Like, both things are true. I will sit here and play a game like The Great Wall and be like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And then I'll also hop on my Kickstarter videos and be like, but also it's a $200 game and you can get like 5 other games for that price. So like, decide if you care that much. So yes, the hobby can be expensive, but it's up to you how expensive it is. Mark M, if you have 2 hours, what would be your go-to solo game? Mage Knight, Too Many Bones, or Spirit Island? Or Marvel Champions? Sashin, thank you for your time, Alex. Absolutely. Anton, do you see the announcement for Star Wars The Clone Wars, a pandemic game? Yes, I did see the announcement, and I'm sure I'll play it, but I'm not that excited for it. I mean, at a certain point, like, there's only so many times you can, like, re-clone Pandemic before I'm just not excited for the next one. Doesn't mean I won't like it, it's just not excited. Sindeka, what do you think the next Homicide will be, and what would you like it to be? Pirates. I've said this multiple times, I want it to be pirates. Come on, if you're watching, pirates is the way to go. Or ninjas, but pirates. Petrified. So if Skyrim and Too Many Bones is supposed to be similar, is Skyrim going to be worth it? Yes. Yes. Then again, you just asked me if I'm buying the 7th Zombicide game, so there's that. Aziel, not sure if I actually want Project Elite or if it's just the real-time gameplay pulling me in. Are any other similar gameplay recommendations? Project Elite's very unique feeling. I like it a lot. Very unique feeling. Successful Geek. Alex liked DEI because he played it with me. Just saying. But also, I lost Successful. So there's that. I think I lost. Did I lose? I can't remember. Reed McCullough. Professor Meg, relying on you to make next Wednesday happen. I don't want to have to find a new stream to fill my time. Reed, how dare you. Don't use threats to me. So 10 a.m. next week will not happen. Here are the possibilities for next week, okay? And they're just possibilities. Do not expect them. There is the possibility of a stream, of a 10 a.m. stream, I guess, maybe. There's a possibility of a stream on Thursday instead of... Again, remnants of strep. There's the possibility of a stream on Thursday. Possibility. There is the possibility of a stream later on Wednesday, like much later in the day. But again, possibility. I would not expect either, but if we can make it happen, we'll try. Into Mist, thoughts on Dwellings of Eldervale? I liked it, but I only liked it. Lots of people loved it. There's lots of opinions out there. I thought Dwellings of Eldervale was fine, and there were specific reasons as to why I liked it, but did not love it. Board Game Officer, favorite color, generally sky blue. Favorite food, General Tso's. Favorite sword, well, I mean, I don't have many, so this one over here. Best game based solely on art. Ooh. The first few were easy. So many options, dude. Best game solely based on art. What do I even do with this question? I don't know. There's too many options. I'm going to skip that one. Favorite coworker? I don't have coworkers yet. I mean, there's going to be Devin and Meg, and as I already made it very clear in another video, Meg, obviously. Biggest nemesis? Quackalope, obviously. Radland's art style is rad. I think you say it's quite good two-player. Yes, it is. It is very much so. Honestly, I'm just going to go with Dice Throne. Dice Throne is my favorite game based on art and production. Possibly. It may not be, but it's a really up there. It's incredible. Okay, have you had a chance to play the new two-player Splendor yet? I have not. Successful Geek, I can't remember who won our game of DEI. I don't remember either. Big Boss, did you back Rivet Wars? Yes. Professor Meg, Everdell. Ooh, good choice. I'm going to go with Everdell. We're immediately substituting our answer. Also, Brass Birmingham has some solid art. There's some really good games in art. Back again, not sure if mentioned, is the Innis gameplay still on today? Yes, Sebastian, Innis gameplay is going up in less than an hour, I guess. Less than an hour, 12 o'clock. Successful Geek, Wonderland's art is incredible. Yeah, Successful, I thought about Wonderlands too, by the way. Wonderlands was also on the table as well, but that goes back to just Andrew Bosley, it's not Andrew Bosley, Manny Tremblay. Same artist, Dice Throne, yeah. Yuri Goldsmith, now that you work for GameFound, can you tell us about the stats behind Pledge Manager? How much money on average is raised during this time? No, I cannot. I can tell you that in general. I don't know how public certain stats are. I'm not going to say things that I don't know if they're public. But in general, campaigns raise more doing the Pledge Manager. They absolutely do a lot more doing the Pledge Manager. How much more varies. There are certainly averages, but you can expect to get more doing the Pledge Manager. Anton, do you think we might see another Zombicide Undead or Alive campaign? No. I don't think that Command doesn't do re-campaigns. With the exception of Marvel United, that's partially because of the whole Spin Master Association. Brian Winston, still haven't heard from you about Age of Atlantis. I still haven't gotten it, Brian. So, fun fact about here, I missed the email where you're supposed to pay $5 more in shipping, and so I didn't get the Wave 1 of Age of Atlantis. I'm getting Wave 2 instead. Jake Gardner, just got my Endless Winter pledge in. Can we get reviews on the expansions? Yes, I just want to play all the expansions. I've only played some of them, and I want to play all of them and then do a full review roundup. Successful Geek, root art is also fantastic. It is, but it wouldn't be my personal choice. Hop, if the board game thing ever goes dry, you'd make a good cattle auctioneer. Yes, I absolutely would. But where am I moving to? Where do you think I'm moving to? Ninja, did you receive Tainted Grail Kings of Rune demo? Sort of. Quackalope and I are sharing a copy. I'll have coverage of it at some point. Indynamis, ISIS Vanguard just reopened pledges. I couldn't resist that one. I hear you. I am sympathetic to it. And with that, we are an hour into this thingy, or an hour plus into this thingy. We're going to go ahead and call it. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. We'll be back. Well, in 3 weeks at the very least we'll be back, but possibly next week if timing works out. Just don't count on it. We'll see what happens. In any case, and until next time, I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. And as always, I hope you have a good one. I'm going to go shuffle over there and turn the button off, which is the thing I do every single time.